How's it going, guys, and welcome back to ABTFM YouTube channel. And today we are back with the season 2 of the Football Talk. So this is a show where basically me and some guests will be talking about their favorite club and football in general. So in this season, we are mainly going to talk about the winter transfer window. Anyways, let us welcome our special guest in this episode. So Chris from the ANZFM. So welcome, Chris.
Hey, how's it going? Nice to be here. Thanks for the invite.
Yep, good. And then, just a quick one. So can you introduce yourself and tell us about your favorite club?
So as I said, my name's Chris. I'm living in New Zealand at the moment. Not actually a Kiwi, but don't tell too many people that. I get a bit sad otherwise. I'm a Spurs fan, have been 25 years or so. I was bought a kit at 6 years old and I've just sort of followed the team ever since.
Oh, cool. That's a very, very good one. 25 years.
Yeah.
So, technically, we
much.
can say you have been through ups and downs.
Yeah.
Or maybe
more,
just
more,
ups.
more down, more downs than ups.
Oh, really?
Do you see us in the 90s?
Yeah.
It wasn't good. It wasn't
Yes. Yeah. But then I thought Tottenham is it's kind of like getting better and better every season.
Yeah,
it's not like a lot of downs actually. I would say like it's ups, not like really, really down.
Yeah, modern times is definitely more up. But early days was very down. And I think most of those fans would agree.
Yes, I started watching football when Berbatov is playing for Tottenham.
Yeah.
And then he was so good. And then after that he joined Manchester United. Yeah. So anyways, what do you think of Tottenham performance so far in this season? I'm sure you have a lot of thoughts on it.
Okay, on paper, good. Obviously, last I checked, fourth. Only a couple of points away from top of the table.
Mm-hmm.
The results are good. Performances terrible. Well, not terrible. As to watch, it's pretty bad. It's pretty boring. Mm-hmm. Most games you can sum up Tottenham's possession by watching the 2 or 3 minutes with the highlights. So as a fan, you come around to the weekend or a midweek game, whatever it might be. You've been waiting a week to watch a game, and then you watch your team defend for 88 minutes. Look at Wolves, scored in the first minute, and then you watch defending for most of the game to concede in the last minute or two. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so far Tottenham has played 16 games and then 8 wins, 5 draws and 3 losses, and then scored 29 goals and then lost 15 goals and then 29 points, actually 7 points behind the champions right now. So I think right now Man United is playing Burnley. Yeah. And then actually, so if you look at 8 wins, 5 draws, it's actually not that bad. But if you think about the 5 draws, and then immediately I can tell like the game against West Ham United, and then which one is another one against Wolves?
That was last week before.
Yes. So actually, there's a lot of games like Tottenham should have won the game, and even I think even the game against Liverpool, you guys should take a 1 point at Anfield, and then just go home. But then that game you actually consider a last minute goal from Liverpool. Yeah. So
from a set piece, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yes, from a set piece. So I would agree with you. Like on paper, it's actually good, but then if you look back to the game and the performances, you would be like, nah, actually, we are not that great. But then what do you think about EPL in this season? Because it's weird, isn't it?
It's very weird. I think from day one, you didn't really know what to expect. Having watched Project Restart at the end of last season, no fans, games were very close together. It just felt weird to watch. And you come to this season, the teams that like to press, like to play on the front foot, didn't seem to have the fitness, probably because there's no preseason, there's no summer to rest, there's no preseason to sort of get back into it. So I think, but to go back to Spurs for a moment, that's where we succeeded, right? We didn't need bundles of fitness because we sat back, we sprung, and that was all we needed. Now that teams are starting to find their match fitness, their sharpness, that's why we're getting found out.
Yeah. Like your rivals, Arsenal. If you tell Arsenal fans right now you're actually 10 points behind the champions, behind the league leaders, they will say, "Oh, I'll take that," because Arsenal has been quite bad this season. But then if you look at the EPL table right now, they're only 10 points behind the league table, the league leader. So that's actually fine, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so what do you think about Jose Mourinho's football style? Like it? No? It's complicated, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's very hard to argue with somebody who has such a successful history. Like, he's got such a good track record that it's very hard to argue. And like we said, the results, when you see the results, they're good. But to watch the game, it's not a style I enjoy. I want to watch entertaining football. You go to Pochettino, didn't win every time, but it was an exciting game to watch. You look at Leeds. Leeds aren't winning every game, but you can't say it's not entertaining to watch. So, I mean, Mourinho, he's great pedigree. Likely will win something. I'd like to think he'll win something. A great chance of the League Cup final or the Carabao Cup. Sorry.
True. Yeah, Carabao Cup.
To watch the game, it's not the greatest.
Yeah, but you have Son and Kane, like the dynamic duo in this season. That's what all we have. Yeah. All right. So I think let's just move on to the next question. So this one is a big one. So we'll just start discussing about the players that are linked with Tottenham in this winter transfer window. So the first player is a 19 years old player called Julian Araujo, and then he's playing as a right back. So what do you think about Julian Araujo so far?
So I've not seen a great deal about him, I'll be honest. A few things I've sort of seen and read. People still aren't sure what his position is, whether he is a right back, whether he's going to play further up the pitch. But you have to look at the track record of the United States lately. The players they're putting out are remarkable. Pulisic, what have we got? It's Gio Reyna. He's American, right?
Yes,
yeah. But like, the US has a great track record recently. There's lots of young, good American players coming through. And if we can secure one at a cheaper rate who can become a reliable backup for a guy like Serge Aurier that's prone to a mistake. Matt Doherty, I don't think, has been what I expected him to be yet. Whether that's he needs time to adjust, whether it's a difference in formation, he's been asked to play differently, I'm unsure. But a young, exciting right back for a good price, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, that's actually the next question that I want to ask you. Like, what do you think of Serge Aurier? Because like what I said before the show, a lot of Spurs fans or even like football fans don't really like Serge Aurier. Yeah, and then what do you think of him?
So I think last summer he said, I'm paraphrasing, I can't remember the direct quote, but he had no competition for his position. He wanted to leave, and I went, all right, see you later. No, you don't want anybody at your club that doesn't want to be there, right?
Yes,
he has great moments. He has some very exciting moments. He can score a goal. He's pretty reliable as an attacking option. Defensively is an absolute nightmare. And his ability to give away a penalty, a dodgy free kick. I remember him trying to do little skill moves inside the box. It's just silly decisions that you don't need and end up costing you goals or costing you players on the pitch through the red cards, yellow cards.
Then what about Matt Doherty? Do you think he's also a very good attacking option, but then defensively not really? Because obviously back in Wolves, Matt Doherty is playing like 5 at the back, and then he's mainly playing as a right wing back, not really like a right full back, I would say.
Yeah, so I don't know what to expect defensively because, as you said, he played as a wing back. The Wolves' back line was so reliable that he didn't need to defend a whole lot.
True.
I think he's been better than I thought he would be. But again, I think he just needs some more time to adjust. Get used to having to do the attacking and the defending. But I like what I've seen so far.
Yeah, but to be honest, all the summer transfer you guys have made, it's actually very, very good. Like, look at your midfielder, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. He's so good.
Incredible.
And then actually Carlos Vinicius is not that bad, to be honest. In the cup game, good. He's actually very, very he's actually playing very well. Yeah, absolutely.
He's done the most he can with the opportunities he's got, I think. And we've had problems with backup strikers for many a year now.
I would say maybe one of the summer transfer that's not good enough maybe is Joe Rodon, but we haven't really seen a lot of Joe Rodon. Yeah.
I don't know what we expected of him, whether he was brought in to be a first teamer or just a backup player or just a young player for the future. I think that
Yeah.
the small bits we've seen, he looks pretty good. I know that he was held in quite high regard in the championship.
Yeah.
But it's just time will tell, right?
Yeah. And then so back to Julian Araujo. Do you think he would join Tottenham in this winter? And then would you maybe would you like to see him join Tottenham this winter transfer?
I probably see that as a summer option. You know,
Okay.
Spurs are known, aside from this past summer, to not spend a lot of money. And if, you know, in this current climate, there's not a lot to spend, I'd rather it wasn't spent on another right back. Put it that way.
Okay. Yep. That's fair enough. So okay, let's just talk about the next player, Marcelo Chabitzer. So according to the Athletic, they say that Marcelo Chabitzer is actually Jose Mourinho's target. Like he actually aimed for him for a long time, and then actually Chabitzer has recently rejected a new deal from RB Leipzig, and then he admit that he's actually interested to play for Spurs, and then so he will be a free transfer in next summer, but rumors saying that Mourinho was hoping to get him in the January transfer window. So what are your thoughts on this?
I think it'd be fantastic, to be honest. I remember watching him destroy us in the Champions League last year. So to be linked with a guy like that, you can't turn that down. If you've got big ambitions, right? Jose has big ambitions.
Yes.
I think Daniel Levy, the chairman, has big ambitions. These are the guys you have to sign to go after those ambitions. Everybody talks about Harry Kane's going to leave if he doesn't win trophies, this, that, and the other. The least the club can do is show him that they have ambitions, that they want to get the best players whenever, you know, at whatever cost.
Yep.
You can't always look for a bargain if you want to be that top tier.
Then do you think Marcelo Chabitzer is like a more attacking midfielder, or would you say it's like a box to box midfielder?
That's a good question. I think, you know, box to box is quite a key role, right? You need to be ideal all over the place. But I think for us, when you have a guy as reliable and strong as Højbjerg, that you could allow Sabitzer to be or have his focus be more on the attacking side of the ball, right? If you think maybe you could be like a 60-40 as opposed to having to do both ends of the pitch. And Sabitzer's brilliant, and he can play wide as well. So that's, for me, that I think a big thing we need is they call it like a third forward, like a third option, right? You say Kane and Son, okay, cool. What do we do when those guys aren't on the pitch? Kane's injured every year. Son goes through patches. He goes through dry spells. Not yet this season, but he will, because he does every season. So if you can have a third guy be around to score the goals, which I thought Gareth Bale might be, but I mean, that's been a bit of a disaster so far. So a Sabitzer for me could be that third guy.
Yeah, actually that's true though. If you take out Son and Kane, and then Tottenham
There's
is just
nothing.
that's nothing. It's very brutal, but then it's very true as well.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, I think the same thing happened in the Liverpool and Spurs game. So because Kane is not really performing in that game, and then you can see like the whole page is only Son is a attacking threat to Liverpool, I would say. Yeah. And then
very easy to nullify one guy or two guys when you've got a full back line to do it. So
yeah, but then back to Chabitzer, I would say if you look back Mourinho's formation, he's always playing a 4-2-3-1. So there's a one attacking midfielder role. But then I actually feel like in Spurs, he hasn't really found that center attacking midfield, the midfielder. Yeah, because obviously he doesn't like Dele Alli, and then later we'll cover that. And then right now the attacking midfielder position is actually sometimes is Ndombele. And then I always thought that Ndombele is more like a box to box or number 8.
Yeah, I would have thought the same.
Yeah, and then sometimes it will play. Maybe he will play Giovanni Lo Celso, but then I always think that Giovanni Lo Celso is only like a backup option. He's not really a first team player, I would say. So, do you think Marcelo Chabitzer is that cam that Mourinho is actually looking for, or maybe Jose Mourinho has already switched his playing style?
He could be. I mean, that's where I put him if I were to buy him and had to pick the team tomorrow. But I think you have to realize that Harry Kane dropped so deep lately.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't need that cam. Maybe you look at a 4-3-3 instead.
Yes.
And it allows Harry Kane to have all of that space between the number 9 and 10 position. But yeah, Chabitzer could be a brilliant number 10. Absolutely.
Yeah. Then do you think he's more like a summer transfer, or January you can just get him?
I mean, I think you have to, like I was saying before, if you want to have these ambitions, you want to make top 4 at a bare minimum. You want to win the Europa League, the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup. You need these big guys, right? So if he's there, he wants to come, buy him now. Yeah. Don't run the risk of somebody else saying, hey, Leipzig, here's 50, 60 million pounds, euros. I think Arsenal are also in the running for him.
Yes.
As a Spurs fan, do you really want Arsenal sort of swooping in and taking this guy off you? Just spend the money. We've missed out on guys before. Jack Grealish, for one.
Yep.
It's rumored that Daniel Levy didn't want to spend the extra £5 million on. And that's one more recent, but there's been plenty throughout the years that Daniel Levy's played too hardball
on. Yeah, but I actually saw a very, very interesting article. It says that Arsenal also joined the one that want to sign Chabitzer, but then Chabitzer say that he wants to play for Spurs.
Good man.
That's a good news for you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Next player that we'll be talking about is Ivan Perisic. So what do you know about this guy? Because obviously he's 31 years old. He's very, very well known, I would say.
Yeah. He's a name that you know, of course. Bayern, Inter, the last few years. He's been quite brilliant at Bayern. I think they even want him back, right? I think Bayern are trying to get him back. So a guy with that kind of reputation, absolutely. I think he fits a Mourinho style. He's dependable. I think he could be, let's say, if you're seeing Gareth Bale back to Madrid, because it's costing you a fortune. He's provided next to nothing. And Perisic would have come in and be that winning veteran presence. I think that could be a great deal, not only on the pitch but also off the pitch. Yeah,
because right here, rumors say that Spurs want Ivan Perisic is just a loan move. They just want to loan him in, January, and then play until the end of the season. But right now, if you look at Spurs squad in the attacking area, you have got Son and Kane, which is irreplaceable, I'd say. But then you still have Bergwijn, Bale, Lucas Moura, even Lamela, and Lo Celso could be, as an attacker, you got 5. And then if you bring in another Ivan Perisic, there'll be 6. Do you think that's too much option?
It is too many options, but the options aren't providing, right? I was saying before, you need that third option. So send Bale back to Madrid. I'm not going to get caught up in the love story of bringing Bale back to Spurs. Moura, I'm a big fan of. I'll never forget what happened to Ajax, but inconsistent. Lamela can't stay healthy.
Yep.
And Bergwijn, I'm still not sure about. He's looked good in moments, but again, you need, like we say, if you have big ambitions, there's no time to wait and hang around and hope that someone figures it out. If the guy's available and on a loan move, is even better. Say he's older. I mean, it's difficult to say. He's what, 31? I'm 31.
31.
And we describe these guys as old, and I just think of myself, I'm not old.
Yep.
But in the footballing world, 31 is getting
like to the end of the career, I'll say, somewhere around there.
So a loan move for roughly 6 months, half a season. It could be a great option because there's no massive commitment there. You don't play him, what happens? His parent club gets mad at you.
True.
But if he comes in, performs, great, and then you can deal with the other guys you've got on the club that aren't performing anyway.
Yep. So just now you mentioned Bergwijn. You're not sure about Bergwijn yet. Then what do you think about Bergwijn and Lucas Moura? Who do you think is the better option for Spurs?
In my heart, I say Moura. I like Moura from the day he arrived. It's just, a lot of people will say that he runs around like a headless chicken. He sort of dribbles blindly, will lose the ball. There's something about him that I really like. It's call it sentimental, call it what you want. We've all played Football Manager, right? You've got a guy you don't want to let him go. He's down to 1 star. Everyone else has eclipsed him. You don't want to let go. That's kind of how I feel about Moura.
Oh wow!
I'll never
Wow.
forget Ajax. I'll never forget the Ajax Champions League.
Yes.
That was incredible.
Yeah.
And I want to believe that he can still get there.
Yeah. Yeah. The
I
funny
don't
thing
think he
is,
ever will.
yeah, the funny thing is, Lucas Moura always performed well. Sometimes in the big game, I would say he actually performed well in the big game. But then, if you look back to the Champions League final, Lucas Moura is not even on a starting 11, if I'm not mistaken, right?
That was because Harry Kane was injured at the time and then
Yep.
became fit, so Moura
Yep.
was dropped for Kane to
Yes,
come.
but I mean, Moura is like such a important player in that squad before the final. So why
Yeah,
not just start him maybe at the right wing position?
yeah,
Like, yeah, and then right now Mourinho is in charge in Spurs, but then Lucas Moura still really not given a chance. I would say he actually start Bergwijn more than Moura. I would say, yeah,
yeah. And there must be a reason, right? Because Jose
yeah,
went on about how he loved Moura. He wanted Moura. I think it was when Mourinho was at Madrid, he wanted to buy
yeah,
Moura, if I'm not mistaken. And he played Lucas Moura a lot at the end of last season, but obviously
mm-hmm.
not so much this year. So maybe there's something he's seen. I don't know, maybe Bergwijn, again, just needs more time to adapt. It's been a funny sort of 12, 18 months of football. It's not,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Actually, that's true. Yeah,
there's nothing normal about what's going on right now. So you take a young guy who's early 20s, I think, to bring him from the Netherlands to England, to go into lockdown.
mm-hmm.
All these things are probably affecting a lot of footballers at the moment.
Yes,
So
actually, yes.
maybe he just needs time to adapt. I don't know. I think there's something in there. You see flashes, glimpses of just absolute quality when he's on the pitch. It's just
Mm-hmm.
not consistent enough yet.
Yeah. All right. Then we'll just move on to the next player. We'll just touch a little bit on this player, Christian Eriksen. So right now, rumors saying that you guys are bringing back Christian Eriksen to Spurs. So
No thanks.
do
Absolutely not.
do you don't like him as a player or?
No, I love him as a player. I'm very sentimental. I think was absolutely brilliant for us for a long
Yeah.
time. The dip in form started before that final season. He was already not performing with Denmark,
Yep.
and then he struggled for us all of last season. And after he came out and said, "I want to go," I thought, "Yeah, cool, man. If that's if you see the end of your career somewhere else, that's fine. I'm not going to hold that against you."
Mm-hmm.
But the performances weren't there, right? And then he went to Inter, he got his move. Performances still aren't there. You can't come crawling back now. That's like getting back with your ex-girlfriend. You just don't do that kind of thing, right? Like we've had closure. We've said goodbye. Move on.
Yeah, but then I think this is a silly one as well because you like Spurs actually sold Christian Eriksen because they don't really have a plans for him. But then right now you guys are going to bring back Christian Eriksen. I just don't think this is very, very realistic, I would say. Yeah.
I want to think that it's a bit of media hype. I think it's an easy story to write that because he's still struggling
in Inter.
Like he'll just come grow. I think it's just a media story. I don't think it'll happen.
Yep. All right. Then the next player that we will be talking about is Adam Militao, the Real Madrid centre back. And then it's rumors saying that this will be a loan move as well, just to reinforce the defensive line. Because right now you have centre backs choices like Joe Rodon, Toby Alderweireld, Eric Dyer, Davinson Sanchez, and if needed you have Jeffet Tanganga. So you got 5 centre backs right there. And then Adam Militao, if he joined you guys, that would be your 6th centre back. So what do you think? Do you actually rate Adam Militao?
I mean, we've not seen a lot of him this year, right? Didn't he get coronavirus? If I recall, I don't think he's played at all this year. I think he was ill.
Yeah. But then last season he actually played quite a lot for Real Madrid.
Yeah, he's obviously got great pedigree, and when Real Madrid buy him for 40-something million, you can't deny that he must have some quality. Do I think? I don't know. I think he's unproven this year. I think if you needed another option, you want somebody who's ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We definitely need someone. I don't think Sanchez makes the grade.
Yeah,
we can talk about that later, maybe.
Yep.
So it's basically Alderweireld and Dyer, and then you've got a Tanganga Rodon. Tanganga's brilliant. It's been awesome to see his rise in the last couple of years, but he's not ready yet, right? You can't ask a young man to come in the big moments. although in saying that, to be completely hypocritical, he debuted against Liverpool and was brilliant, man of the match.
Oh, yep. Yes.
Out of position, I'm pretty sure he played right back that day.
Left back or yeah?
Left back, yeah. So even better
back,
because he's a right-footed player. So left back's even more, out of his wheelhouse. But yeah, Militao would be great, and obviously, like I said, he's got great pedigree. Touted as a wonder kid. Again to reference back to Full Manager, which is where there's a lot of this comes from for us. I don't know if he's ready to go. Can be reliable enough to beat the guy right now? Like it's a big question mark. And I think for what we want to achieve this season, it needs to be less of a question mark and more of a definitive answer.
Yeah, I actually agree with you. Because Adam Militao is also very young. So if you are going to sign another young defender, why not you just use Joe Rodon? Why not you just give Tanganga a chance? Yeah, instead of loaning another young but not yet not an established player, I would say. Yeah. And then just now you touched on Davinson Sanchez. What do you think? Because I think at the beginning everyone was so excited about Davinson Sanchez. But then after that,
that's a lot of money for somebody who arrived, I think, 3 years ago. That I don't think has particularly improved since that point. Or at least hasn't shown the improvement you would expect of somebody who was that highly regarded, that cost that much money, that came from a club as good as Ajax. I think he should go. just to be blunt, I think he should go.
But then I think if you guys sell Davinson Sanchez, there'll be more money into your bank. So I think that's a plus. Yeah, and then another one that I want to touch on is Eric Dyer, because I think Eric Dyer has been finding his position at the whether it's defensive midfielder or central midfielder, and then now centre back. And then I think Eric Dyer actually told Jose Mourinho saying that I am a centre back, just play me as a centre back. So do you think Eric Dyer has been brilliant as a centre back, or?
I think he's been good. I think he's been very dependable. Eric Dyer's a funny case because I'm still not sure what he was. Like a few seasons back when we had Wanyama, Dembele, Dyer was sort of that midfield enforcer, for a lack of a better term. They were all very good that year.
Yep, correct.
Last season there's a lot of injuries for Dyer, so maybe that sort of contributed to the drop in performance. But he said, I want to be a midfielder. Now he says, I want to be a centre back. Let's just say, he's been good. He's been better than I expected this year. I'll put it that way.
Yep. Okay. All right. So now enough of talking about the players that link with Tottenham. Now we'll just talk about the players that might leave Tottenham. So the first one immediately, Dele Alli. So obviously Jose Mourinho doesn't like him, and then he doesn't really get his game time here in the Spurs this season. Yep. And then right now he's actually linked to PSG, but then I think Pochettino is not going to take him back. And then after that, rumors saying that Newcastle is actually interested in Dele Alli. So
I chuckle like that one. Let's ask Chuck what he thinks about that.
Yeah. Yep. And then so what do you think of Dele Alli?
Is another guy that I was a big fan of.
A couple
seasons back, he's brilliant. Like him and Harry Kane playing off each other it was fantastic to watch. It's been very odd to just watch him decline and just basically disappear, right?
Yep.
He turned up against Marine the other day. Before that, it's half an hour here, maybe 60 minutes there, half a game. It's he's got the ability, right? He must have the ability.
Yep.
Because he's risen from, was it League One, League Two, into the English national team at a very young age. So I don't believe that somebody just becomes terrible at football overnight. There must be some sort of natural ability. So for Dele Alli, it must be mental, whether that's a maturity factor, whether it's he's just got a bad personality, might be lazy. I mean, Jose Mourinho said, you're a lazy trainer.
Yep.
I don't think that documentary helped Dele Alli much in the public's eye because Danny Rose. Let's not even go there. But Dele was called lazy trainer and then he laughed about it. And then throughout the rest of the show is portrayed as a jokester. So I don't think people think he takes it seriously. I think the best thing for him now is to leave and just start fresh somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah, because obviously he's rated as a wonder kid before. So and then we actually talk about it just now. And then do you think that he's just unlucky to not get his game time?
No, I think he's undeserving of game time. He's not been good enough this year. You look
Even
back
last
at
season.
Yeah, last season as well. But you look at let's say Marine, the FA Cup game a few days ago. He's trying to do his flicks and tricks. I mean that's what makes Dele Alli who he is and why he's been so brilliant. But right now, get your head down, focus, put the performances in, and then the flicks and tricks can come back again later once you've re-established yourself.
Yeah, true. Yeah, so if he joined Newcastle, another Premier League team, do you think he'll do good with Newcastle? Because Newcastle is actually a very, very defensive team. And then with the addition of Dele Alli, do you think that will be good for them?
Right now, no. I don't think he works hard enough. He hasn't got the right attitude. You can't go to a club that wants to. I don't watch a lot of Newcastle, so I don't really want to speak out of place. But you can't go to a club as a flair player. And just think that that's going to get you through, because obviously Newcastle may not play with a lot of flair at times. So you need to be able to be defensive. You need to be reliable. You need to have that work ethic. And I just don't think he has that right now. Whether that's true. Because he's in a bad situation and he's sulking. I mean, I wouldn't put that past him right now, but I think, it's a very strange case. It really is.
Yeah, I actually hope maybe he'll just join another league. Maybe some league that play lower tempo football, I'd say. So maybe like his tricks and stuff will be like good for that league. Yeah. Actually, French league is a very, very good option, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean PSG seems the right kind of place for him to go, right?
Yes, true.
He seems to have that sort of personality. Yeah. I don't know. I'd be sad to see him go, but I definitely think it's for the best for everybody right now.
Yep. All right, then we'll just move on to the last player, Toby Alderweireld. So Toby Alderweireld is linked with PSV, the Dutch team, and then it is actually a summer move. So what do you think of Toby Alderweireld? Do you think he's still important for a team? Because obviously his centre back partner, Jan Vertonghen, is actually left you guys this season to Benfica. So do you think Toby Alderweireld is still an important player in your backline?
Absolutely, very, very one of the most important players. And that, if you'd have asked me this question last season before, I would have said he probably needs to go, because we watched Jan Vertonghen decline to such a point that it became a little bit sad. To see such a brilliant player become just lost. And I didn't want the same to happen to Alderweireld, because the two of them in their prime were just fantastic.
Yeah, they're incredible. Yeah.
You can even look back to Ledley King, right? Like that was such a classy player who we had to watch fall apart, essentially. So now that we have Mourinho, I think Alderweireld still has a place, because there's a lot less being asked of him. It's less physical now, right? He doesn't need to be playing a high line, trying to fill the gaps. Trying to hold an offside trap. He can sit at the back. He can be a leader. He can be a voice. He can direct things, especially when you've got younger players around him, or somebody like Eric Dyer, who might still be what you would consider inexperienced at centre back. When you have such a veteran head next to you, and then even Hugo Lloris at the back, right, it makes this dynamic that is just mentally tough. And I think that's really key this year.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I agree that Toby Alderweireld is still a very, very important player for the current Spurs right now. Yeah. But then next season, if you guys can bring in maybe another good centre back or something like that, maybe Toby Alderweireld is just going to be a backup, or even just leave Spurs, I would say. Yeah.
It's definitely possible. I think Eric Dyer seems to be Jose's first choice. So
yes, true.
Naturally, Toby would probably slide further back in the pecking order. And maybe that wouldn't be a bad thing. Or maybe he sees his future still at a higher level. I'm not sure.
Yep. All right. So we actually cover all the players that we want to talk about. So what about you? Do you think anyone in the Spurs squad will might leave Spurs in this winter transfer?
Outside of what we've spoken about, not really.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Jedson Fernandez goes back to
Yeah.
Benfica. I mean, I think it's
Yep.
a bit of a waste of a loan move at the moment, but
Actually
there's
true.
nobody that really stands out.
Yep.
Oh, Harry Winks is a bit of a. I
Yeah.
think Valencia are trying to get hold of him.
Yes, but Harry Winks actually, I think Jose Mourinho actually wants him to stay with Spurs, and then I actually think that Harry Winks sometimes play quite a key role in the current Spurs squad. To be honest, yeah, and then I always think that Harry Winks is just a player that's very very average. He wouldn't be very very good for like the England national team, but then he's not that bad. He's actually not that bad.
I think he's the kind of player that every team needs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just that guy that goes under the radar, just hardworking,
Mm-hmm.
just keeps things together. I don't think he's a bad player. He's not going to be a brilliant player, but I don't think he needs to be because he's not asked to be.
Yep.
Like he plays just a workhorse midfield role. Mm-hmm. You don't expect that guy to be, best in the world.
Yep.
So I think he should stay.
Yep. All right. Then so right now, looking at the current Spurs team, which area do you think needed improvement? Obviously, we speak about the defensive area, and then do you think the midfield area is good right now?
I think the midfield area is confused. Yeah, I think we have a lot of players, and I'm sure anybody who looks at the Spurs squad would see it. There's very contrasting styles of play.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not really like a starter and a backup for each role in the midfield.
Mm-hmm. Yep, true.
Like a Højbjerg, we have nobody to back him up. If we lose, if he gets injured or anything like that, we're screwed because there's nobody in our club like that. And I think he's played just about every minute available at the moment.
Yes, yeah, every minute available at the moment.
Ndombele, is now that he's sort of finding his feet, coming into his form.
Mm-hmm. Sissoko,
like, as another guy like a Harry Winks that is just very dependable, right? He doesn't need to be a big glamour player. He's just a workhorse. He's up and down. He does what he needs to do. Like him carrying the ball is just incredible.
Yeah.
But there's nobody else. We're looking at 3, 4, 5 different playing styles. Mm-hmm. We would expect a Mourinho side to have a couple of roles figured out and then a backup option instead of this just mess. Like I just think it's a bit confused.
Mm-hmm. Then what do you think about the goalkeeping area? Do you think Hugo Lloris has passed his prime or he's not that reliable anymore?
No, I think he's been brilliant this year. I think this is one of the best seasons he's had lately. Mm-hmm. And again, it's that change in manager, it's that change of playing style where he's not required to do as much. He can focus on what he's good at, which is the shot stopping. Mm-hmm. His reflexes and shot stopping, he's remarkable. Under Pochettino, being asked to distribute the ball short or to pick out players anywhere in the field was a big weakness. Mm-hmm. And that's why he looked bad. And when the mistakes were made and he was trying to sweep a keep, which is erratic in that sense. And we've seen that with dodgy tackles, red cards, bad short decision-making. Whereas now he can stay on his line, in his box, stop the shot, make the save, and there it goes.
Yeah, just defend the goal.
Basically, that's what a goalkeeper does, right? If you play to your player's strengths, then it's really all you can do. In terms of the other goalkeepers, we need something.
Pablo Gazzaniga, not good enough.
I've never been a big fan of his. He was good. He was good when Hugo was injured, and he covered him for that stint because he could distribute the ball. Yep. And that was what he could do that Hugo couldn't, and that's why people sort of at one point people were saying he should be number one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had moments. To be honest, he had moments. Yeah, I think he has been brilliant. Against Liverpool last season when Hugo is out, he's actually doing very very well. And then I watched a few games of his actually he was alright. But then as a first choice goalkeeper or compared to Hugo Lloris, maybe not that level. No,
it would have been fine to continue as a backup. Mm-hmm. But I think maybe we got to homegrown issues, which is why Joe Hart was brought in to be a homegrown goalkeeper. And Joe Hart's been appalling. It's been terrible this season.
All right.
It's sad to say, but it's true.
Yep. All right. I think we've pretty much covered everything. Do you want to add on anything before we end this show?
Not really.
Do you want to promote your stuff?
I don't really have a lot of stuff. I make a few kits on for Football Manager on Twitter every now and again.
Yeah.
It's Chris_ANZFM if you wanna find me on there. We've got a bit of a Discord community growing for like the Australia New Zealand players, Football Manager. If you can find us on Twitter, it's ANZFM. If you want to sort of get involved with that, have a chat, we can maybe send you out a link to an invite. But yeah, other than that, I don't do a whole lot. It's been good fun actually on here talking to you. It's been really nice.
Yeah, all right. Thank you. Yeah, and then I guess we'll just end this show right here. And then thank you, Chris, for joining me today again. All right, thank you. Yeah.
Take it easy.
Yeah, it was wonderful talking to you. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and then all right, so guys, I'll link all the Chris social media down at the description box below, and then make sure you guys check him out. So yes, if you enjoy watching the content, make sure you hit the subscribe button, leave a like, leave a comment, and share it to your friends. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter. It's ABT_FM to join the discussion of football. So yeah, once again, thank you, Chris. And
thank you.
I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.